Alright, so we need to talk. So with the Boruto time skip inching its way closer and closer every day, that kind of brings us to some interesting questions, such as exactly who is going to train Boruto after the time skip, as well as what jutsus he's actually going to learn. But first, if you like more videos like this, don't forget to comment, subscribe. Now let's jump straight into it. Now the biggest influence that we know that Boruto already has is Sasuke. Ever since he's met Sasuke, he was really into him. Now we know that Boruto aspires to be more like Sasuke than his own father by the fact that, you know, he's being trained by Sasuke and doesn't really seem to have the same aspirations as his father, you know, such as becoming Hokage. We also know that after the time skip, Boruto's going to have the Sasuke cloak and the katana, along with the headband with the slice through it, symbolizing that he's kind of taking a similar approach, you know, a similar role to that of Sasuke. Now, whether or not he's going to become evil or not is a whole different video, but the idea is that his style kind of seems to be similar to Sasuke's. Now, I think he might incorporate some lightning cloaks as part of his fighting style, and I think this will primarily be learned from Sasuke himself. Now, we do know a lot of Sasuke's abilities are actually inaccessible to Boruto due to the fact that a lot of them revolve around his dojutsu, such as the Susanoo Amaterasu, flame control, you know, the other Sharingan abilities, on top of all the Rinnegan abilities and the teleportation, all the abilities of the passive pain, even though he doesn't have the Rinnegan anymore. But lightning style is something that they both definitely share in common and can be implemented into Boruto's fighting style, kind of as an homage to his sensei. Now, I also think that Kakashi would be an interesting case here because I do feel like he may have a part in Boruto's growth for a couple of reasons. First of all, looking back into the Shippuden franchise, there's one particular moment of Kakashi that kind of sticks out, which was when he was helping Naruto train, right? Kakashi actually tells Naruto that he failed adding lightning nature to his Rasengan, and this is kind of what led Naruto to get the idea to add his elemental ability of wind to his Rasengan to create the Rasen Shuriken. Kakashi also states that it takes an incredible amount of skill to combine, you know, elemental and spatial recomposition. Neither him or the fourth Hokage were able to do it. Now, I don't know about you, but I think it'd be really cool to see Boruto use a combination of the Rasengan and the Chidori together by utilizing lightning style. Now, this has already been implemented to a certain extent, as it's already been pointed out that the Vanishing Rasengan is a result of adding the lightning energy to the Rasengan, but I'm pretty sure he'll eventually be able to take it, you know, one step further. Also, since Kakashi was actually able to perform the Rasengan as well, as mentioned previously, I think if Boruto were able to master this, I think it would be under his guidance. You know, a literal Chidori Rasengan would be quite a sight to see, kind of very similar to when Naruto and Sasuke combined their respective attacks on more than one occasion. Now, I don't really think he would utilize the Chidori on its own, but potentially maybe a purple lightning, which was created by Kakashi after he lost his Sharingan, because the Chidori gives you tunnel vision due to the high speeds that it's usually utilized by, which makes it easy to counterattack, and it's overall very dangerous to perform without a Sharingan. But Boruto doesn't have the Sharingan, but he did at one point use ninja tools to kind of mimic this ability against Shinki to impress his father. So I think it would make a lot of sense for him to legitimately learn this jutsu, and I think it would show for some serious character development, right? And not even gonna lie, I want Konohamaru to teach Boruto something, but to be honest, you know, he's blatantly overshadowed by literally everyone else on this list. But I do think he would probably contribute as far as, you know, sparring, more simplistic type things. Something I see happening around the time of the time skip would be Boruto actually defeating Konohamaru in hand-to-hand combat, which would definitely confirm definite growth, and I think would be very interesting introduction to the time skip. You know, kind of like how during the Shippuden time skip, Naruto redid the bell test with Kakashi and was actually able to pass. The next person I think would play a crucial part in Boruto's training is none other than Naruto himself. You probably saw this coming. I mean, we do see time and time again Naruto's very invested to see how Boruto performs, and I don't really think he'll play the biggest role in training Boruto, as I think he's gonna kind of lean a little bit more towards training Sarada, but he may help Boruto in a couple of areas, such as perhaps increasing his number of overall shadow clones, and, you know, maybe as a consultant when learning to advance the Rasengan further. After all, Boruto is an Uzumaki and should have relatively large chakra reserves, but I don't think he'll ever actually be able to catch up to Naruto in the sense of shadow clones. Now, the last person I think would probably play a crucial role in training Boruto is Kashin Koji. Now, this one's a little bit more out there, but I do think it would be super interesting to see, and it's actually the person who I'm looking forward to most on this list. Now, I feel like reestablishing a relationship with Boruto might bring some nostalgia among fans to back when Naruto was training under Jiraiya. I do think Kashin Koji would be more of a tough love type character, but he's an exact clone of Jiraiya and may take an interest in Boruto after all. But if Boruto were to train under Kashin Koji, I don't think it would be towards the beginning of the time skip. I do think it would be more like in Shippuden, where halfway he begins to learn more abilities, like when Naruto learns Sage Mode. Now, I do think this would be more like Shippuden, where it occurs a little later. And the reason why I say that is because he may be able to teach Boruto Sage Mode, since he himself has perfected it. And most of his abilities, like Jiraiya, are revolved around the Toad abilities. This is a significant buff, so I do believe that it would probably happen. It would make more sense to come later on, a little bit after the time skip has already occurred, so we can firmly establish what his new base power is before stacking Sage Mode on top of that. Now, again, this is not all written in stone, but there's a good chance some of these may occur, and there's a lot of stuff to imply that a lot of these may come out to be the way that we think they will. But anyways, if you guys like more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.